following broadcast has been approved by Outcasted OC. Viewer discretion is advised. Incoming transmission in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Outcasted OC. As you can see, we are a man down this week. Reese is not very well. We wish him better, of course. But we are here with Courtney and Ross and myself as always. How is everybody doing this week?
I'm good.
Okay.
I woke up with spite.
You what?
I woke up with spite.
Do you know what? I'm starting to get the idea that this is a trend for you. You're just continually waking up with spite lately. And I just want to know, like, who hurt you? How do we get you to feel better? You know?
CM
feel great.
CM Punk hurt me.
Wow. Anyway, we are here this week to chat a little bit about the things that happened at Clash at the Castle, some touchy subjects for a few people, and a few things that happened on Monday Night Raw this week. Maybe an NXT thing that happened that we may need to talk about.
Oh yeah, no, we have to talk about that. We can't not
Like,
talk
what the
about
fuck?
But anyway, let's jump straight into Clash at the Castle. Let's go over the matches real quick, and then we'll get to Raw and NXT. So, the first match, we'll go, if I can remember the order they went in, the first match was Cody versus AJ for the I Quit match, with Cody coming out on top. Courtney, what are your thoughts?
I thought the match was really good. I liked the pacing of the match. I liked how AJ started off quite slow. I will say, I feel like, and I said this in the review that I posted on my TikTok about it, I feel like it kind of abruptly ended out of nowhere. I feel like it could have gone for like an extra 5 minutes. It just felt like there was a sequence or two that was maybe cut a little bit short. But I really enjoyed it. I liked how AJ was trying to like antagonize his mum, and then his mum eventually just like fucking slapped the shit out of him. I literally said, I was like, find yourself a mother that will fly halfway across the world to slap your opponent, because Mama Rhodes is a real one for doing that. And I feel like that really helped in the storyline aspect as well too. I'm unsure as to why, out of everything that AJ went through, he was almost too scared to get hit by the ring steps. That was his drawing point, where he's like, no, I've had enough. I
didn't get that
anymore. Whereas, like, we've seen AJ go through a lot worse. I was a bit confused, but that spot where he like fell backwards into the table was quite cool as well. All in all, I think it was a really great match, and I liked the tease at the end of it when obviously Solo and the Bloodline came out, and then we obviously got to see Randy and Kevin. So that's potentially setting up a 6-man tag for Money in the Bank. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Randy looked at that title at a really funny angle for a little bit too long, with a little bit of a side eye.
So, I said that to you, didn't I, Ross? I said that to you.
Yeah, so I feel like that's planting the seeds for something in the future with him and Cody. But all in all, I think it's a really great way to start. And normally Cody would always main event, but considering this was Clash at the Castle, I feel like this was the best way to actually start the show off.
I think it was a really great match that really pumped it really got the crowd going, ready for... Sometimes not always the best matches should be kept till last, because I feel like if you put a banger of a first match on, it sets up the crowd ready for the rest of the pay-per-view.
Yeah, and obviously what we saw happen later on, where we, had that moment at the end, and obviously we'll get to that. That was probably the best placement for that spot, because if you had that moment that happened at the end, happen at the middle of the show, you'd have to find some way to pick up that event to get everyone excited again. So I feel like in terms of how they were structuring what they did, that was the best way to start it off. And I'm not a proponent for Cody always main eventing. I liked the fact that he opened the show. I thought that was great. It was great.
Russ, what are your thoughts?
Cody Rhodes. The chants were incredible. I couldn't. Like, honestly, I was just sat there giggling with G because we were trying to work out which they were saying. And the fact of none of them were censored, we got away with so much in Scotland for what we said in chants.
They literally, the last time when we were at, sorry to interrupt you, Ross, when we were at Money in the Bank last July in London, when we come back and watched it, they censored the Roman is a WANKER one, and they didn't censor it this time.
Yeah.
No, they did that at Chamber as well too, with a couple of the Dom ones. They were censoring it when they were calling Dom a wanker. So that's surprising to see that, like, between then and now, how much WWE is now letting you guys get away with.
Really
and the blood on Cody's face as well.
Yeah.
Then WWE have kind of backed off the whole bloody matches. But recently,
Well, I
it
think-
seems like they're bringing them back in.
I think that's because the Netflix deal's coming, obviously
Yeah.
January, so they're testing the waters of what would interact more. And the fact of I very much enjoyed it a lot more because that gave me a homegrown feel where, you know, chants and everything like that. You get the ridiculous ones, you get the I'm going to swear and take the mick out of this person because it adds that entertainment value. I felt a lot of the times when you heard it censored on television, it kind of drawed away from the match. And for me, I think AJ and Cody's match was absolutely perfect. It was in the right place. The crowd exploded as soon as it happened. Even me and G just looked at each other, went, they're opening with this, and we were instantly hyped. I'm the same as you, though, Court. I feel the way it ended shouldn't have ended that way. I think having the spot where he's going to throw the stairs at him while he's cuffed just didn't seem right, especially seeing as he got whipped by belts, he got hit by kendo sticks, he got hit by a chain, all of this. Like, it just
it was like that was your final straw. It was like
I thought we would have
Didn't
gone a lot
make
more.
sense.
I also think AJ Styles doing the chain around to do the phenomenal forearm with the chain. He really struggled to tie the chain up, but it looked cool.
you can see that as well. Yeah.
But yeah, the
what was
match
it?
was great. I loved the tease at the end as well. I think the bloodline part of it that was necessary because all we've been saying consistently is okay, so if Solo's the new Roman, why is he not going to hurt where it would hurt the most for Roman and go get the title that he couldn't stop Cody from winning anymore? And it, like, for me, seeing them all come out, have that fight, and like as you guys said, the stare from Randy, I wasn't even just paying attention to Randy. Did you not also notice Kevin Owens also looked at the belt when they held? So
there was a lot to unpack there. A lot.
Yeah. So my brain went, okay. So this slightly leads into a War Games situation of Cody Rhodes being in the War Games again with Randy KO versus New Bloodline. But my brain also went, after that, I could see a triple threat match where Cody's like, you guys have helped me. I'm going to both give you an opportunity. Let's see who's the best out of all three of us.
Yeah. And we've been... Sorry,
no,
go on.
Yeah, no, go.
No, you go.
Because I was going to say, because not all feuds need to be aggression. They don't need to be a good guy and a bad guy. You can have that mutual respect match where it's like, look, you guys have helped me. You've done a solid. I want to give you an opportunity that I think is the most respectful. I want you to have a shot against me for my prestigious title.
Yeah.
And there would be no bad blood. But I think that's where we could get a trigger of Randy happening. Yeah. I didn't try to make a play on words of bad blood, but you know the fact they're now making a
you got there
back called that.
But it was a good match.
Definitely good.
That's what I was gonna say, and I feel like a lot of people have been complaining because they're like, "Oh, we don't know Cody's next direction. We don't know where he's going. We don't know what's going on." But like, we've literally just seen now that they're potentially going to set up for this. So if people are still complaining that they don't know Cody's next sense of direction, but they've literally just given it to you on a silver platter at the end of Clash at the Castle, saying, "Hey, this is probably what we're going to be doing next." Like, you've obviously got the 6-man tag, and then you've got like a match that you can have with Kevin, and you can have a match with Randy. Like,
I would really like to see Cody versus Solo.
Yeah.
I really would like to see that come out of that. But yeah, I have pretty much the same thoughts as you guys. It was a banger match to open. I really was hyped for the pay-per-view after seeing that match. Both Cody and AJ had a great match. Obviously, the bloodline, like I said, I was really excited to see Solo. I really would like to see Cody versus Solo. I think that would be good. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Any other thoughts on that match before we move on?
No, go for it.
Cool. So next match of the evening, I believe, was the women's tag match, which was Bianca and Jade versus Isla and Alba versus Shayna and Zoe. We have come out with a new tag champions in Isla Dawn and Alba Fire, Unholy Union. I am very happy for them. We'll go to Ross first on this one because I know these are your gals. So
Really? What came
You went
family?
wrong. You went wrong. Unholy Union have been a big thing for me for years. I said it'll be great to see him in hometown Scotland. I love the fact Triple H made it very clear in the press conference as well, because obviously one of them going through a tragedy of losing a family member, turned around and said, we have not gave this belt as a constellation prize. I don't want anyone taking that away from all the hard work they've done. It was a surreal moment. They took the opportunity. They have worked hard for it. Having your main guy back you up and state, no, these girls, we've picked these girls for a reason, not just because, one of their family members died, let's give them a good thing at home. Because not being funny, if that was the case, look, Drew's situation would have been different as well, because he was in hometown and deserved it just as much as the girls had. So, but we'll get into the Drew side of it. But yeah, I loved this match. Isla and Albert didn't meet the crazy expectation I had. I thought they were really going to do all the stops. They did some great stuff. I mean, especially Alba doing the dive out, not giving a damn. I was like, okay, that's the fire I remember. That's the Kaylee Ray style that she had. And that's what I liked when she was in NXT UK. So I want her to keep bringing that style going forward. Now to the slight negative parts. IWC, please stop using the word buried just because they were not great in a match. Yes, Jade didn't perform the best that she could. Yes, Bianca didn't perform the best. As I said, neither of them performed great. That does not mean they are both buried just because they dropped the titles. Titles change hands. Jade and Bianca losing the titles now sets a situation up where they can fight each other. It does not bury them into any situation where they're not going to be seen. You don't build up Jade like you have to then go, oh, she had one really bad match, we're going to stop it. You've got to remember, this Jade's first ever triple threat tag match in her wrestling career. Not just in WWE, her whole wrestling career.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people are really hard on her. She's experiencing a lot of firsts in WWE because she didn't experience a lot of firsts within AEW. And a lot of people tend to forget that, like, obviously, you know, that springboard move with the ropes happened. A lot of people are like, oh, she botched it. And so what if she did? Accidents happen, mistakes happen. It's a live sport. Things can go wrong, first and foremost.
Yeah.
But secondly, like, who are you to go ahead and say, oh, she deserves to be fired, she deserves to, you know, have left?
Yeah.
Have you never made a mistake? Have you never made a mistake in your job before? Have you ever been told that maybe you should be fired because of the mistake that you have made? No. It's actually like I find it really disgusting that people want to come onto the internet and basically just say that she doesn't deserve a spot anymore. And as you say, when it comes to, you know, like maybe they didn't perform at their best. I'm sorry, but not everyone can perform at 100% every single time. There are days where people can only give you 70% of what they have. But it's better for them to give you what they can on the day than be like, fuck this, I'm not going to wrestle at all.
I feel like there's a bunch of factors into why they weren't at their 100% capacity. You got to think, like we just said, it's a lot of news for Jade. Bianca and Jade haven't been a tag team and for long, and neither of them have very rarely done tag team work. So working together with someone you don't normally tag with would take a lot to learn, you know, like
chemistry
and stuff. Chemistry. Two, Bianca has bulked out a lot recently, so she's probably working on how to manage her newfound muscle. And then also, they've just flown from America, the jet lag. And
they've been doing media as well, too, for however many days leading up to it. They've got appearances, they've got all this stuff. But, like, we don't have to justify why somebody might not have been able to perform at their best. That we absolutely don't need to do that. It's just these idiots on the internet that want to go ahead and pick apart every single thing and wait for somebody to fail for them to go ahead and say, I was right, she doesn't deserve to be there. But can I also say, before AJ's match as well too, the referee told him that the ring ropes were a little bit loose.
Yeah.
So, like, that happened, and then obviously that move with Jade happened where she fell her springboard, and then obviously Damien did that thing with his ankle as well too. So it's not necessarily everyone's fault. There are factors that happen that can affect the outcome of what goes on as well. Like, it's just I think this match in particular really showed and the true colours and the ugliness of the IWC. Instead of wanting to lift up Jade and saying, hey, we know that she can do better and we want her to do so much better, everyone's just waiting for her to fall apart, for them to be like, we told you so. How about you actually, like, just step back and, like, shut the fuck up, honestly. It's so frustrating.
I did sit there and go, God, that was sloppy. I'm glad they lost.
But there's a difference between you going, oh, that was sloppy, to what I've seen online. Yeah, there's a complete difference.
I did go, oh, that was sloppy. I'm glad they lost. But after thinking about it, and you take into consideration all those factors, I was actually like, yeah, okay, maybe there was a bit, tired and stuff.
But as I said, there's a difference between you saying that and what I've seen, because I know that you're saying that from a good place because you want things to be better and you want people to improve. Whereas I've seen a lot of these people giving out death threats because they don't want Jade to no longer be
wrong.
That's the difference. And obviously, if you're saying something, I know you're coming from a good place, and that's absolutely fine by me. But what's not fine is what I've seen, and I'm not. I cannot stand behind and say that that's okay, because it's absolutely not. You're talking something about something you have never experienced in your life. You've never trained for it. You've never done it before. What on earth gives you the right to say that you can do that better than she can? Accidents happen, like I said earlier. You make mistakes in your job all the time, but you learn from them. People aren't going to learn by failing and never getting the opportunity to try again. Like, it's actually ridiculous. It's disgusting.
Yeah. But either way, we are very excited for Alba and Isla.
Yes. Yeah, and as Ross said, I feel like I said this last week when we were talking about it. I was like, I really do not want them to give them the titles as a pity win for what's happened. So I'm thrilled that Triple H came out and dispelled those thoughts and rumors straight away and was like, actually no, like we were going to give them to them anyway. It doesn't matter what's happened in the background. They deserve this moment, and absolutely they do. I think Zoe and Shayna did really great as well too. I'm getting a bit sick of them always losing. I really want to see them do well as well too. But
hopefully either way they'll be in for a rematch or something anyway. So
true.
Because you can't. The thing is that annoys me is you can't build two powerhouses like Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler and consistently have them lose to BS situations where other people have got involved in their match. Show they are good by just either having them win or they lose with a clean loss where they got surprised. They got too
by introducing a mid-card title and then them having something else to go for.
Or that too.
Or that. It's really not that hard.
Also, I just want to put absolute praise to Shayna Baszler because I don't know if many of you guys seen it. But when Jade went to do her pump kick and missed it because they were doing the set up to pump kick where Bianca would hook her and then do a German over, Shayna sold the crap out of the kick still, even though Jade whiffed it. Shayna full just went boom, flew into Bianca and said to Bianca, throw me like I am literally going to fly. And Shayna waved at her arms and everything like, Shayna just knows this business
Shayna's a real one.
So good. Of just I can sell when I need to sell. And I think what was really cool was having Shayna do the sleeper on Jade to show don't matter the muscle power, doesn't matter how strong you look. If I sneak that in, I can still win. And a lot of people discrepancy on this look like Jade tapped.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
I said that to you.
It looked like Jade tapped. So
she did like the little baby taps.
I think that's going to play into a storyline of potentially a solo feud because Shayna will go, I knew you tapped out. I'll make you tap out.
Well, here's the thing as well too. They did that with Ronda and Liv as well too. Like Liv was tapping, but the ref didn't see it.
Ref didn't see the tap.
Maybe they'll do that again.
And that's what I think is going to be interesting. To see how it goes. And I think Shayna will. What I'd love to see is in the next couple of Raws out of nowhere. Oh no, they're SmackDown, aren't they? Jade and Bianca are SmackDown, aren't they?
Yeah, but the brand split doesn't matter anymore. People have been going from brand to brand.
Well, because the women's tag belts, they're across all brands now. So it's like.
So why draft them to one brand when you could just have it makes sense to me.
But what I was saying is I'd love to see the next couple of episodes of SmackDown. We see a feud slowly building and we see Shayna basically go, oh, by the way, I've got footage to show. Roll it and shows that Jade tapped. I went,
Yeah.
oh, is that your Is that your former champion? Tapped out by me, and yet the ref didn't see. Like, I'd love to see her just build that
it'd be
into
good.
the feud, because
That
it's
would be
just
good.
there to happen.
It is. It's just there. Yeah. I agree. I think that's great. And I just, I feel like I'm just living in a life of disarray until I start to see Zoe and Shayna be treated better. And I want them to be treated better. I really do. I know it's the same with Piper. It's like, we know their potential. It's like, we're literally just waiting. We're like, come on, please, like, pick our favorite, please. But yeah.
Because I get what you're saying. I'm the exact same as you. Like, I like them as a tag team. I get what they do as a tag team, but I was on the Shayna hype train when she was the NXT champion as long as she was. She was one of the best to be that women's champion. And ever since she got the main roster, she never really got to wash off like Vince's creative decision.
Yeah, I feel like there's a couple of people that when they came up around that time that they got the Vince treatment and then they haven't been able to get out of it. And I'm really hoping that Triple H can do like wonders for them, because
that's what I'm saying. They did it with Piper, like having her name be Doudrop to now she's still back to Piper. Teaming with Chelsea to build this kind of like
that because Queen Eva was there.
Well, yeah, you liked to have Eva Marie back for a little bit, but yeah, I liked how obviously Piper and Chelsea are this put together group, but
they work well together.
Yeah, they really contribute each other now. I really have been enjoying just seeing Chelsea be like,
you've got the mouthpiece, and then Piper does the work.
Yeah, I love
the mouthpiece and the power.
Yeah, Chelsea just grabbing Piper's arm to wrap around her to protect her as well. Like, hold me back, when it's like, she's not holding you back. You're asking her to defend you. Don't start. It's the funniest thing.
It's so good. She's so delusional, but it's great. I love it.
But I think that that speaks in itself as well, that the women's tag team division is in good hands now, and I would love to see a Chelsea Green, Piper Niven versus Isla now. But I think that would be a really good feud as well.
I think we'll get that. I hope we get
that. I hope.
We can only hope for these things in this life. But anyway.
Shall we move on to the next match?
Yeah.
So I believe the next match was Sammy versus Chad for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yes, it was.
So we had Sami Zayn come out victorious on this and still is our reigning Intercontinental Champion. Courtney, your thoughts first.
I'm not going to lie to you. I was a little bit bummed that Chad didn't win after hearing that he'd re-signed. But I don't think he will be after what happened on Monday Night Raw as well, too, which I'm assuming we'll get into that. Sorry, Mia's just crying at the door. She obviously wasn't happy about the match either.
Wasn't happy about what happened to Chad Gable on Raw, clearly.
No, she wasn't. She's like, Daddy, Chatty, are you okay?
Daddy Chad.
Anyway, I liked the match. I feel like it was very technical. I feel like Sammy and Chad both did a really great job in the ring, technical wise. I think this match was more about the storytelling aspect. For me, it was more about Chad trying to, saying to the Alpha Academy, look, we've spoken about this time and time again. Let's make this plan happen. Let's finally get me this IC title. And the fact that Maxine couldn't bring herself to help him, obviously she's trying to get out of this whole Stockholm syndrome that they've all got going on. And obviously what happened with her ankle. I swear to God, next time we see her, she's just going to be in a wheelchair, because the amount of times she keeps getting knocked out, it's just not great. She sold it like a champ, though. Like, she sold it, and that was great. And obviously the fact that Otis picked her up and took her backstage instead of helping out Chad very much shows where his intentions and where his goodwill lies, is actually with the rest of the Alpha Academy and not with Chad. I was expecting the Creeds to come out, but we obviously didn't have that happen. We obviously just saw that Chad got distracted and then basically just lost the match, and Sammy retained. And then I don't know. It was a good match for me. It was a good middle match, I should say, in terms of like being in the middle of the card and then setting us up for the event. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought Chad and Sammy both put on a great show, and I love all the tension between Alpha Academy. Obviously, Chad is just being a complete and utter heel douche at the moment, and it's great, and it's great, and I love it, and I do hope to see like where the Alpha Academy goes from this, and how they recover from this. But I really, 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 really wanted Chad Gable to win. Like, he was so ready for that win. But I mean, I'm happy for Sammy. Don't get me wrong. I love him as IC champion. But my question lies, as he's been IC champion before, who's next for him? You know?
Yeah.
They already revealed it, and it's the best decision.
Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I saw that. But it does, like I said, even though we do have these new talents coming up from NXT, like, he has faced a lot of the mid-card title scene anyway in his previous runs. So is there going to be enough people for him to keep going as champ? But I am happy for him nonetheless. Ross, your thoughts?
For me, match of the night, honestly, I can't fault it. Perfect in-ring storytelling where Sammy was very much trying to hold back, but then seeing the frustration in Otis and Maxine and their stress. So he was going for them. I loved seeing how Chad was getting more and more frustrated with each near fall and Sammy still having the underdog in him. Maxine did the perfect storytelling. I loved the out of the ring spot where Sammy, technically unintentionally, but if you watch it back, Chad kind of purposefully hit Maxine out of anger in the moment and made it look like Sammy did it. Where he rolls over Chad, like flips him over on the outside, and as Chad Gable's falling, he kind of like axe cuts Maxine's leg, and that's and Otis looks furious. The whole fact Maxine got hit, picks her up and leaves. Everything, it's perfect. I really enjoyed this heel Chad.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, same.
I also agree with that point too, Ross. I feel like you just hit the nail on the head.
Nobody can't not agree with that.
While he can't talk, let's talk about how great CM Punk is.
Best in the world.
Oh, he's the best.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going.
I don't even know what to do now. I feel like I've been thrown out of action.
Do you maybe want to go into your thoughts while we're waiting, and then hopefully
his
thoughts? You have. That's right.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do now.
I don't know what to do.
Normally, this is when we have Reese to come and help us.
Hey, Courtney, clip that.
Yeah, I will be. Yeah, okay. Well, he's gone now anyway, so yeah.
Maybe we could just move on to the next match, and then when he comes back, he can finish off whatever he was saying.
Can I just say one thing very quickly about this whole Chad Gable storyline? Do you know what's actually really funny about this? Is the same people that are loving this storyline are the same people that were hating on how long the Bloodline story took.
Oh, yeah.
Like...
ridiculous.
Yeah. So
anyway.
Right.
So the next match of the evening was Bayley versus Piper for the women's... is it the WWE women's title on that side? Bayley came out victorious on this one. Obviously, she's my gal, and we love her. So, I was obviously very, very, very excited for Bayley to be retaining because I have a sneaky feeling she's going to be losing it at SummerSlam. Which I'm not excited for because I don't feel like her run has been as good as it should have been. And I do blame creative for that. Yeah. But I am happy that she's still champion. And Piper put on a fantastic match. And if you've seen at the end, Bayley did actually show respect to Piper because she knew that she put on a good match. Both the ladies are fantastic. I'm happy for both of them in that match. I don't really have a lot to say other than I am excited for Bayley's win. Ross, did you want to finish what you were saying about Chad and Sammy?
No, I want to bring up the point as soon as I leave I hear best in the world chants. I live in the same house as you. You think I'm going to hear it through this fucking door? The disrespect is unreal.
We just waited till he couldn't say a thing, and then we were just like, fuck it, let's
disrespect is unreal. I can't believe this.
Hey, look, we're doing it behind your back, and we're going to do it to your face as well, too, when we talk about the match.
Yeah.
We're not going to hide from it. You can't deny it.
But no, just to finish the Chad Gable thing I was saying, genuinely match of the night. Bit pissed obviously Chad didn't win. I do feel like it was his moment, and I think heel champions are what we kind of need. But I think Raw has too many heel champions because obviously we've got Damien, we've got so we've got Damien. Then we also had the tag team at the time. They were heels for a long time in the Judgment Day, and just.
It is quite heel heavy. I will say that. It is quite heel heavy.
Raw has been very heel heavy, so I think keeping Sammy as that mid card kind of on this baby face
even more heel heavy now
would be
Sorry, carry on.
No, it's fine. But yeah, I think arguably for me the next two contenders who should be IC champion is either Bronson Reed or Bron Breakker. Like both those guys have been putting in the graft.
What about Sheamus?
Sheamus, I want
can.
later. Sheamus, I don't want straight away. Just because the title is now like fresh and everything. No, because I want the payoff to happen.
I thought you weren't going to say him at all. That's why. I was
no. So Sheamus, I want towards Mania. I want Sheamus to have that moment where it's the biggest crowd he can have, finally becoming that Grand Slam. I think just giving him in the next few pay-per-views won't feel as good.
It won't have that payoff because that's when, like you say, he'll finally become that Grand Slam champion. I feel like that moment you want to reserve for like
Mania. Big moment.
Yeah, what I want it to be is what Drew should have had of him being at Glasgow and winning the world title in front of a crowd. We would get...
We're not having Mania in Ireland, mate. No chance.
But, no, I'm not saying a Mania in Ireland. But what I mean is, I want something as big as that, like that level for him, and the place to do that is either SummerSlam or Mania.
Yeah, have it night 2 of SummerSlam next year, or 2026.
Yeah. So I know a lot of people are like, Sheamus can finally go IC. Sheamus could do it. For me personally, I think Bronson Reed and Braun have just kind of done the work beforehand, and for me personally, Sheamus now can't actually be a Grand Slam because there's another belt he should focus on getting, which is Damien's belt.
I literally was just thinking in my mind, what other belt should he focus on?
He hasn't touched that one yet. He hasn't touched that one yet.
Anyway, we did move on to the next match, which was Bayley versus Piper while you were gone, and I was just expressing my thoughts and how I was very happy for Bayley. However, I feel like her title run hasn't been great, and I blame creative for that. And I've got a sneaky suspicion that she's going to lose at SummerSlam, which I'm really upset about because obviously we haven't had everything we wanted from her.
Nope.
And I was saying how great Piper performed in the match. She was definitely the right opponent. And how Bayley showed respect to her. And yeah, it was just a great match overall. I didn't really have a lot to say about it. Court, your thoughts?
I liked the match. I felt like, as I said last week, it was very much a foregone conclusion that Piper wasn't going to win. Just because you're a Scot and the event is taking place in Scotland doesn't mean that you are automatically going to win. But I feel like Piper still showed everybody and all the naysayers who don't like her why she's really great in the ring. And I would love to see that happen more. I'd love to see her be utilized more. I just feel like she's going to fall further down the card again, and I really just hate that about professional wrestling, that everyone gets a moment and then they get put back down. I really enjoyed Chelsea Green's interference in this match. I feel like it was so good. Her outfit, she looked fantastic first and foremost. Like she was just this like bratty, like private schoolgirl. And it was so funny. In the review that I made for TikTok, I literally said that I have never seen Chelsea Green and that luchador in the same room. Like,
I'm glad you said that.
It's so funny. It was so fucking funny. It was actually hysterical. And the stuff that she'd been saying online about it afterwards, about how like people were saying she should join the LWO, and I'm like, oh my god, no.
It was great.
Oh, so
I know
good.
Dom made a comment on it as well, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was just really funny. That was probably the most comedic part of the match for me. But yeah, I get what you mean about the whole Bayley thing with her title. I feel like because we've been waiting so long for this, I feel like maybe, I don't know if our expectations have been too high or if maybe WWE's just under-delivered. Honestly, I feel like it's the latter of the two.
Really messed up. They just really
I feel like I feel like we just have expectations, but I feel like they're not being met. I feel like out of all of the champions, she's the one to not really get the creative thought behind it.
Which I don't understand.
People are obviously like, well, Bailey can do it herself. I was like, actually, no. Like, she needs a sense of direction. She needs to know what's next, and she needs time put into her as well. Like, how are you supposed to have someone care about your championship reign when, like, the people that are running the business may not even... They come across like they don't care either. It's just, I don't know. We still love it though. Ross, what do you think?
So for me, I really enjoyed the match. It was great to see Piper Niven being a championship opportunity. I've watched Piper for a very long time, Stardom and NXT UK. So a little bit of bias there because she was one of my favorites throughout Stardom, and Scottish on the map, she really did represent Scotland as the wrestler she was. A lot of what you guys said, I feel like Bayley's title reign has been slightly weak. For me personally, I think the problem with Bayley's booking right now was because you instantly drafted all of Damage Control away from her, and there was easy title feuds there where Io could have had rematches against Bayley. You could have easily had like Asuka go after it, Kyrie go after it, Dakota go after her. Like, all of them could have just been like, we're going to bring Damage Control back and we're going to make your life hell because of you not listening to us and stealing our spotlight. So we're going to steal your spotlight as champion now. But because you drafted them away, you can't do that. And I feel like SmackDown is still trying to develop who they really want to be their big name for this new draft that they've done. Because Jade, don't get me wrong, is a huge name, but she's nowhere near ready for championship material yet. Because she's still not in the offensive term of green. What I mean
she's
is
still learning.
She's still got leaps and bounds to do in terms of experience.
She's still learning.
That's what I was going to say. So she's That's what the term green is.
Growing.
Green is you're still new. Like, you're still green. You're like still new. You're fresh grass type of thing. But I don't mean it in the wrestling style, because she can wrestle. We've seen it in AEW long enough. We've seen it in WWE. What I mean is she's green in the WWE format, how to do promos, how to do the media, how to sell yourself. Because in AEW, she got to swear all the time. Every single promo, her catchphrase she did was "cut the shit, Tony." She can't do that now. She can't go to anyone who talks. She can't go to Byron, "cut the shit," because it's just going to get censored. It doesn't work.
Wouldn't suit her character either.
This version of her character is a babyface. Yeah, but Logan Paul is a heel. My point is, Jade was a heel in AEW and got to swear more. Her WWE format now is, I'm a babyface. I am this powerhouse. I am Jade.
Yeah, and here's the thing: like, if Jade was in a room with somebody having this conversation, I reckon she would 100% agree. Yes, I still have areas to improve in. Like, it's not like she doesn't know that there's work to be done as well, and it's not like she's not trying, because she absolutely is.
You could be wrestling for 20 plus years and still be learning new things.
Yeah,
you
don't learn everything just like that.
I've been a chef for 14 years and I'm still learning new things. People are showing me new things. Exactly.
Will Ospreay said it in a most recent interview where he basically, in a match, thought of a move on the fly and did it, and just turned around and said, look, end of the day, you learn new stuff while you're still in the ring. You're not going to just switch your brain to, it has to be this, this, and this. You want to create new things. You want new experiences. You're not going to keep in the same job and do the same work every single time, because that's just consistency. That's a robot. There's no passion or emotion in it. Having people turn around and say, I can learn how to do better, makes better wrestling, because in general, you're going to want to improve. I've done karate for over 20 years. I'm still going to my mom and my dad, who are teachers in it, and asking them how I can improve, even though I don't train in it much anymore.
Yeah.
Your mum, who has done it for how many years? She's still learning new things.
So mum started the same time as me, and she did so many more classes. She got ahead of me because she was that dedicated to wanting to be better. she kept training, doing more and more classes. Me, as a teenage kid, I was like, yeah, I'll do a couple of classes because I'm enjoying it, but I also want to do this, this, and this. Because, you know, big ADHD brain of, I have so many creative ideas, I'm going to just run and do everything. But, yeah, my mum still says to this day, there are stuff she always improves on. Like, it doesn't matter what combat sport you do, you can always improve. And that's what a lot of people are going to say. Any career path, you're going to want to say, I want to improve. You're never going to sit there and be like, yeah, I'm perfect. Nothing I could do right.
No, and that's like, the thing. Yeah, it's when it comes down to it, it's like everybody, no matter what area of life that you are in, has a way that they can improve. Yeah. And if you're somebody that can sit there and say, actually, like there are areas that I would love to improve in, not only does that show self-awareness, but it actually shows the passion towards you getting better at something. Yeah, exactly. If you were to sit there and say, oh, actually, like I don't think I have anything to improve on. Well, maybe you do. Maybe improving on your self-awareness first and foremost. And like I was a speed skater for 14 years, and obviously I had to give it up due to an injury. But I was still learning stuff along the way too. You don't get better by not pushing yourself and not trying. You know, you know, growth doesn't grow out of in the comfort zone. You have to get out of your comfort zone to be able to grow. That's how it works. You don't stay stagnant and get the best results. You have to actually work for them. And I feel like that's what a lot of people seem to forget, and that's what a lot of people seem to forget that wrestlers do as well too, is they're constantly pushing themselves. They're constantly evolving. Like you're learning about so many different things all the time. You have to be able to adapt as well too.
I mean, unless you CM Punk, because he's the best in the world, remember?
No, shut up.
My gosh.
No, he's not.
even that one got me. Even that got me. I was like, come on. But anyway, should get into the main event.
Yes, so the main event was Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. Damian Priest did come out still retaining the World Heavyweight Championship from this. However, I know a lot of us wanted Drew to win, but I feel like there is reasoning behind it. But Ross, give us your thoughts.
Sorry.
Why did you pick me first?
That's why I laughed.
Best in the world.
I was like, no, you just...
Right, hold on. R-Truth, I need you to chime in because this isn't going to be PG.
You're like Triple H, cut the shit.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. You screwed this man how many times over? Like, there is a point where you have to say enough is enough. You gave the man the championship for 5 minutes, and then you take it to his hometown in front of everyone while his wife is at home ill, and you go, I'm going to send this dopey-ass man who is fragile as anything, broke a pec in his first freaking Royal Rumble match back, and goes,
oh, it was a tricep actually, but all good.
Like, oh, Drew, why did you resign? I'm going to be real with you, Drew. You knew Pepsi Phil was going to cause you these curses. You shouldn't have resigned. You know what you should have done? You should have gone to the promotion that would have gave you an actual world championship in front of a crowd. Yeah, arguably it'd be a crowd of 40, 50 people, but it would still be a crowd, and it'd be TNA.
I literally just said under my breath, TNA.
Yeah.
And that's not a knock on TNA. It's the fact that you and I literally same mind, same brain.
Yeah. No, because I said to G as soon as he said I quit, I was like, cool, can't wait to see him on Thursday at TNA.
Now, on a real,
come on.
On a real, that match was a masterpiece because CM Punk was there.
Literally, come on now.
The match was no. On a real. The match was fantastic. Damian and Drew put on a banger of a match. Yeah. I don't know if the whole rope spot with Damian Priest was actually meant to happen or whether that was an accident, but my God, did that scare me. I was literally going, his leg!
Speaking about adapting on the fly, like, they could have just abandoned the match completely and been like, nah, fuck this. But then Damian was, because you could see Drew was actually genuinely concerned for a second.
Yeah.
Damian's like, keep going. Damian's like, keep going, go for my knee, go for my knee.
And he played on the leg, which worked. So.
Yeah, he sold it for the rest of the match.
Yeah. Was I happy Drew lost? No, but again, I feel like there's reasoning behind it with everything going on with Drew right now. I feel like he needs to be at home or in hospital with his wife because she is apparently very ill. So I feel that is the reasoning why he didn't win in the end, if he was ever meant to win. I am happy Damien still retained. You know, I was happy for either way with this match. Damien retains or Drew wins. Either way, I was happy, but I wanted Drew to win. But like I said, I feel like with his home situations currently ongoing, it wasn't plausible right now. Which is the same. CM Punk turning up, absolute masterpiece. The man is a fucking legend. I love him. He is just fabulous, best in the world, and you cannot change my mind. So yeah, I am overall happy for the entire match.
This was honestly, I'm going to say the complete opposite of Ross, because I am a positive thinker when it comes to CM Punk. I kid you not, this match for me actually answered a lot of my questions and confirmed a lot of things that I had in my mind, right? So first and foremost with Damian Priest, phenomenal job, did an amazing job, especially with that rope spot and continuing to wrestle throughout the match. I think he actually, on one leg, I think he actually dispelled a lot of the naysayers by obviously people saying he's a transitional champion, he's a paper champion, he's had 2 title defenses now and come out the other end of it. Like, Damian Priest is continuing to prove himself and continuing to adapt and work, and that's fantastic. I'm so happy that he retained, so that helps. Secondly, obviously, Drew not winning, while it's disappointing, it goes ahead and shows to me that potentially when we have this feud with him and CM Punk, because I've been saying for a long time, it does not require the title. It is beyond the point of the title. And obviously having Damian Priest retain and going into SummerSlam against Gunther, and then now you've got Drew, who's got nothing to do at the moment, when they have this match between him and CM Punk, which I'm assuming is happening at SummerSlam, will not need a title in any capacity. It's literally just a personal blood feud. And that's what I'm happy about. I'm happy that there's finally a match that's not centered around a title. It is quite literally all personal. Or it could happen at Bad Blood. Literally just thought about that now. Like, I'm sorry, but
it makes sense
big brain, big brain energy. I think the thing I really enjoyed about this match was obviously when we had that ref spot, that was a callback to 2022 Clash at the Castle, because that's what happened to Drew against Roman. There was that ref spot, and then he went for the pin, and he obviously had no ref to count it. But the thing that I loved the most, and the thing that you can tell is a massive change from WWE with their camera work, is the way that CM Punk ran down to the ring. It was a wide shot. You couldn't even see who it was. The second the camera goes back, you see his feet going, you see the back of the head. Obviously, he's wearing a long sleeve, so you can't tell it's him because you can't see his tats. You get the 1, 2, and then that slow shot where it's his face, and he's like this. Honestly, that for me was like peak cinema. The fact that they did it in that way, so not only the crowd didn't see that it was so not only the crowd couldn't see that it was CM Punk until that moment, and the people at home couldn't see it because CM Punk ran down to the ring with his head down. You couldn't even tell it was him. Honestly, that was my favorite part about this entire show. And then people were like, "Oh, well, why did CM Punk do this?" And then you have that video go out online to show that he was backstage watching the match. And he saw that moment. That answers a lot of questions for people. It makes it a logical way. He saw that the ref went down. This was his opportunity again to screw Drew McIntyre, because Drew McIntyre's been doing nothing but keeping CM Punk's name in his mouth. That for me, like, it's logical storytelling. It makes sense. It's an extra foil. It's an extra element into the story. And like, for me, this is my feud of 2024 so far. And we have not even seen them touch the ring yet.
Oh yeah. We've not.
I loved it. I loved it. It was so good.
But the intensity between the pair of them, chef's kiss.
It's so fucking good. And then when Drew came out on Raw, and like he couldn't even say anything because CM Punk chants were there, and he was just like, "Can't do this anymore." Drew, you've done this to yourself, man. You're the one who keeps CM Punk's name in your mouth. Your ego, your internet keyboard warriorness within you cannot keep his name out of your mouth to the point where it screws you out of title opportunity. It takes your WrestleMania moment away. Your ego is too big for you right now. Like, it's just this is honestly my favorite story within WWE at the moment. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's fucking keeping me going. I swear to God, it's keeping me going. It's keeping me alive.
I agree.
It's so good. It's so good.
And so that leads us on to then like the whole Drew saying he quits WWE on Raw again. It's obviously a work. For anybody saying he's going to AEW, go get a life, man. Because they wouldn't talk about it on TV if it wasn't a work. He's obviously going to spend time with his wife, as we know she's very sick. So that's
with this whole new regime as well too, like we can see that family is a massive focus within Triple H and within the wrestlers. We would have known straight away that this decision was not made by Triple H if we'd heard on commentary that Drew McIntyre's wife was injured and then Drew won the title. We would know that it's not a Triple H decision, because then he'd be expected to do media rounds and all this stuff and not actually give time to his family. Whereas at the same time, while it's disappointing that Drew McIntyre didn't win it, he can now go and spend some time with his wife to make sure she's okay, and then come back maybe when, after Money in the Bank, maybe when they can actually start getting these two a feud ready for SummerSlam, because, CM Punk's going to go on SmackDown tomorrow.
I was just going to say that. We've got
and also, like, it helps to amplify that feud.
And we find out
to say he quits Raw and then jumps CM Punk on SmackDown.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, we find out tomorrow whether CM Punk's cleared or not.
Can't wait.
I hope Drew runs out as soon as CM Punk says he's clear, hits the
yes.
place that CM Punk was injured and re-injures him.
Like
kayfabe it. I'm not saying actually injure the guy. I'm saying storyline wise, Drew beats the living hell out of him to injure him.
Me too. All right.
Anyway, so that was everything. Does anybody have any final thoughts on Clash at the Castle before we quickly go over Raw and NXT?
I'll say one thing. For all these people that are saying it's the worst PLE of 2024, do you know how a story works? Like, I'm sorry, but that was not the worst. That was not the worst PLE that I have seen. It was very solid. The in-ring work was great. Stories are progressing. Wrestling is probably at its peak. So not peak, because that was WrestleMania, but it's at the best that it's been in a very long time. So like, just chill.
Did they forget the Saudi pay-per-view happened?
Yeah, literally.
I'm sorry, the Saudi pay-per-view was absolutely dreadful. The only good things that came out of that Saudi pay-per-view was the King and the Queen of the Ring, like who actually won those championships. All the other title matches were absolutely dreadful. Like, they weren't entertaining. Like, Cody versus Logan's had to get some Saudi comedian in. Like, you can't call Clash at the Castle, which was pure wrestling and actually genuine storylines, dreadful. It's just Americans again crying because it was in a UK and the UK crowd is just a lot more fun than you guys. Just because you guys get it wrestling all the time doesn't mean it's bad. Let people enjoy it. And it was a good pay-per-view. Fuck off.
Literally. Anyway,
okay.
I'm sure we've got.
Yeah.
But I get what you mean, though. I completely understand. That's a topic for another day, though.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll quickly go over the scores again for where we stand at with our predictions for the year. So in last place is Ross with 20.5 out of 41.
Woo!
Next is the guests with 25 out of 41. Then me with 31 out of 41, and then tied first place is Reese and Courtney with 33 out of 41.
Jeez. I really lit my ass out at Clash at the Castle, didn't I?
In those top three. Still really close in those top three. So that was everything that happened at Clash at the Castle then. So let's quickly go on to a few things from Raw and NXT. The first thing we'll start off with Raw is obviously our King returned. Seth Rollins is back in the house, baby. I did not even expect this. I did not expect him back till at least.
I wasn't expecting him back until at least Rumble. Like, I thought they were going to hold off for a very long time. So when I heard his music, I literally was like, oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. But yeah, he's going to be wrestling at Money in the Bank. Like, how good?
Yeah, and then he's straight into a World Championship match. I'm like, what? Like, I'm happy for him, man.
He does have that rematch clause, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, why? I thought Ross was in his voice then. So yeah, I'm super duper excited, but I'm really confused because obviously Becky hasn't re-signed and she's obviously taking some time off. So I thought they would have took some time off together, but obviously that isn't the
It's not on the agenda.
Seth does a John Moxley. He doesn't understand time off. They just don't.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something. Actually no. I was gonna say maybe it's something to do with the Shield, but Roman does know how to take time off. Unfortunately.
All the fucking time.
Yeah, all the fucking time.
Right, no. So Roman's doing the work.
Comments being like the fact that Seth's back before Roman is just like his.
Now Roman's doing basically the opposite. He's taking time off for the two of them because the other two can't.
For
take
all three
time
of them. All three. He's like, bruv, I've got this, and just
I know how to do time off. I'll do it all the time.
Time off is so hard. You never get a break from it.
God.
Anyway. So
so that happened, and we now have Damien versus Seth at Money in the Bank for the World Heavyweight Championship, which is cool. What else happened on Raw? So Jey Uso has first qualified for the Money in the Bank match. We all happy about this?
No.
Oh, boogie you two. Uso.
WWE has honestly, I reckon that they will fix this somehow. But I Bella in the Bank. How can you not fucking see the potential?
Thank you.
Honestly,
I said this.
Put Yeet in the Bank.
Now Bella in the Bank has a better ring to it.
I'm so like how are you not like?
Finn Balor's time is gone.
No, it has.
Nah, if say that one more fucking time, I'm getting out of the stream. I shit you not.
Finn Balor.
I don't want to fucking hear it.
Time has gone.
Gee, don't tempt me. Do.
She forgets I have the power here. You do not fuck with Balor like that.
I thought you were gonna leave.
Don't ever talk smack on my name like that.
Listen, CM Punk's got more chance of winning Money in the Bank than Finn Balor has.
No.
I reckon what will happen is they'll have that last chance to get in, and then Finn will get in. I'm just so annoyed.
Anyway, also,
just poor booking.
Io Sky has qualified for the women's match again.
Wasn't needed.
Again? I would have liked to see Kiana win it. Or like Kiana Money in the Bank. Like she can actually hold a literal briefcase.
I thought the whole point of Money in the Bank was to elevate people that haven't been elevated, and she's already been there, so why does she need to be there again?
Why is
Kiana
and Lyra?
I still think
I need Tiffany Stratton with a pink briefcase.
Have I not been saying this since Elimination Chamber?
No, you have. Like, don't get me wrong.
Been saying
I get the reason why they put Io in is because Io can do the high fly spots, do some cool stuff off the ladder. I get it. But she's already been Money in the Bank once. If you get 2 years in a row of her getting double wins, I have no care.
No.
Fair enough.
There are 3 people who I genuinely want to win the women's Money in the Bank. 2 of them you guys will agree with me. My third one is just a biased pick. Yeah, Tiffany Stratton is one of them.
Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green is my second one.
Chelsea Green.
And my third one, as I said, it's a biased pick, but I genuinely would love to see a Lyra Valkyrie inspired briefcase. I'd love to just see her have like raven feathers around it and everything.
That'd be cool. But yeah, so that's a bit of a touchy one, Io Sky.
Yeah, don't talk about it.
And
I like Io, but it's not
I love Io. You know I love Io. I love my Joshi wrestlers. I love Damage Control. They are one of my all-time favorite groups because you grabbed all of my favorites in Japan. Also, get well, Oscar. Like all the best.
Yeah, I love how Damage Control have kind of gone off the grid now.
Oscar's gone for a major surgery, so they've kind of like. But how Io turned around and said to Kahuta and Kairi, because of Dakota and Kairi losing, said Damage Control needs to change and I need to do it myself. Does that not give you an inkling of Julia might potentially be lining up with them?
Did you watch my review on Tuesday?
No.
Did you not hear? I literally said it in the review. I literally said it.
Our minds. I didn't even get to watch the review yet, and we're already.
I literally repeated the line, and I said, "Does that not mean that Julia could come and join Damage Control?"
Hey, there we go. Then there we go. Yeah,
it's like you almost have an influence on me or something.
I don't intend to. It is what
I
it
don't
is.
need to.
Yeah, it just is what it is.
It is what it is. But yeah.
So that happened. The first of the Money in the Bank qualifying matches. And then, of course, we had Drew with his I Quit, but we've already spoke about that. And then finally, the most exciting part of Raw. The Wyatt Six have made it to Raw,
That was so
and
good.
I could not be happier. If you'd have seen my little face at 6 a.m. Tuesday morning crying my eyes out because I opened Twitter and the video was the first thing that popped up. Streams. And then I watched Reese's reaction 20 minutes later and cried again.
Yeah. It was so good. I think because I'm still to make a video about this. I have not had time because my life has just been incredibly chaotic. But anyway, I don't think I'm alone in saying that I think that this is probably one of the best debuts, if not one of the best returns that we have seen. And I feel like the way that we saw this come out would not have been possible without the creative mind of Triple H as well too. The new camera work that we've been seeing within WWE, if we had not had that, I don't think that this segment would have necessarily had that same impact as it did.
Cinematically perfect.
It was cinematically done. And I know that we've been saying that a lot within wrestling, but we're starting to see a lot of cinematic tropes and formulas come into play within wrestling that actually, like, this was cinema. I've seen so many videos. There's a guy on YouTube, I sent you his videos for ages. His name's Wrestling Days. He does daily Nightbird, now Wyatt Six videos. He dives into everything, and it was just so incredibly done. I don't know if you saw, but when they got to Rambling Rabbit, he actually had another mask on the other side of his head.
Yeah.
Which is from the Bludgeon Brothers, and obviously the Mallet as well too. Just the conspiracy theories behind who got injured and who got massacred was just incredible. And I think one thing that I really enjoyed about Raw is obviously when they went backstage and Triple H was talking to Drew McIntyre, that was not only done for that, but that was to show us what gorilla position looked like before the massacre happened.
Yeah.
Because you've seen it fresh in your mind that when you saw the massacre, you were like, gorilla was fine literally an hour ago, and this has happened within the long of
in that time.
It also added to the storyline that Triple H left Gorilla, so he wouldn't have been affected by any of it or known it would happen because his
and the way that
I need to leave to stop Drew.
I can't
regards,
speak on it because I feel like I can't do it justice. It was so good.
In regards to the whole massacre, the people that I spotted in the massacre was Chad Gable, obviously, and Gunther.
There's more.
I don't think it was Gunther though. I feel it was someone who looked like Gunther.
No, it was Gunther.
See, now I don't know. I'm not gonna.
There's a reason why I'm gonna say this. So I can't take full credit at this. Wheezy made a very excellent point when she.
I saw her video.
The Wyatt Six all attacked people who have betrayed someone.
I saw that.
If it wasn't Gunther, the other person I thought it was, and this also checks out, Braun Strowman.
Because Braun Strowman.
I'm just saying big
beard. That person didn't have a beard.
But I'm just saying as a big bulky person, because we couldn't full break out everything, that's another option. If Braun was backstage and he was the one who was jumped.
He was, because he was there on Raw.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
But he was chasing the Judgment Day, so how could he have gotten into that position in like literally 5 minutes?
This is what I'm saying.
Anyway, Nikki Cross looked fabulous, did she not?
That mask is fucking scary.
Yeah.
It gave me vibes of her coming out.
Yeah.
Like, crawling.
Yeah.
I literally saw it and I
have never been a Nikki Cross fan. I enjoyed her a bit when she was with Alexa. That superhero gimmick was absolute shite. The things she did with the 24/7, absolute shite. Now I am fully invested in her.
But you've got to say it. She's got range though to be able to do all of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And now this, like whether you think the gimmick was good or not, she's got the ability to do anything.
She played a crazy character when she was with Sanity in NXT, so I feel like she already kind of has that mentally background of, okay, I can be weird, I can be mysterious, and they'll really play into it now.
And then of course we have Eric Rowan, Joe Gacy, Dexter Lumis, and Bo Dallas are playing all the other characters. I feel like there's so much potential. I have so many questions that I need answering, like, why did they do this? Why are they here? Who are they going to attack? What's going to happen? I just need to know.
Dexter Lumis for me was my favorite design out of all of them. I love
the detail on the
Dexter's
side mouth.
Yeah. I also love that it gives I don't know if you guys have ever seen Moon Knight, but it gave me that skull that Khonshu has, but as like the buzzard's like teeth as well. And it was just perfect. Like,
honestly, I reckon sorry, what are you saying?
I was saying the way they revealed him as well. I loved the cinematography of all the bodies were on the floor, and as like what a buzzard does, he's floating above everyone, staring them down. Yeah. He was sat cross-legged and the skull was over them. I was just like, you can't reveal someone called a buzzard that good and just not expect me to be like, right, I'm fully invested in anything they do with this now. Because that was just perfect.
Literally, the second you said bodies on the floor, I just said, let the bodies attack.
I didn't hit the floor.
I did a really cheeky chuckle. I was like, oh no, because my brother...
I was like, right, she's either going to make a body pun or she's going to do the same as me and we'll say the same.
But yeah, I reckon like we could honestly do like a full-blown episode just dissecting all of this because there is so much. Like, obviously, you know, Bray used to have the hurt heel. He didn't have it on this one, but on the hurt hand, it said Bray, which was great. The red streak with red, the reds have now changed. There's just like the circle on his hat. Like, there's just so much you can say with full confidence. Bray was looking down in that moment, and you would know that he would be proud of what he's seen. It was so good.
Also, to a lot of people, that they were like, "Oh, there's only 5 of them." Nah,
I think Bray's the 6th. The lantern is the 6th person. The lantern is the 6th person.
Yeah,
whether they choose to bring someone in or not, why it's 6? It's not spelled SIX. It's spelled SICKX. That's not to say that numerically wise, we cannot have more than 6 people. I think for right now, Bray is the 6th member. The lantern is the symbol of that 6th member. I don't think we need another person in it just yet. I feel like it's where it needs.
Let them kick off first and do what they need to do. Let them show who they are. And I feel like they're not just going to be Raw bound either. I think they'll be across both.
Oh, across brands, yeah. Do you know what
I just want to point out how I love the fact that they use Bray's music, they use Bray's door, they use Bray's lantern. I just love all of that, and I think it's such a like, I don't even know what the word is. Just pain.
It's just a cathartic. I think cathartic experience was probably the best way to describe it.
I think you're trying to look for like a memorial. Like they really gave.
Paying homage. Like, the pose that Bo did, the way that Bo walked, the way that he blew out the lantern was just fantastic. And then, the second that I heard Shatter start and the song did not progress, it stayed in that the entire time, was just like, it was an eerie feeling because you had no idea what was going to happen. The music didn't progress, but you'd seen everything that had happened. And I watched a video from Stephen Larson yesterday when I was on my way home in a podcast form, and Steve made a really great point that it's really hard to say, but you go and you read the lyrics of Shatter in the chorus now after Bray has passed away. Die for me, brother. Like, it's honestly like this is so much deeper than we think it is, and whether or not you think this is a shit gimmick and you're not keen on this kind of thing. For me, I feel like this is a way for not only people to pay tribute to Bray, but this is a way for them to heal. And it's a way for them to show the process of grief and the pain that it causes. This is so much more than just wrestling. Yes, people have asked the question, are they going to hit the ropes? They might do, but let's just see it play out. Like, this is so much, it's like an iceberg. We're only seeing this much. There is so much more below the surface that actually this has so much more meaning and so much more depth than what we think.
Me being, like, you guys know I'm a huge Bray Wyatt stan, and when he passed away, like knowing that I would never get to see him on my TV again was so heartbreaking. But I do feel that little bit of closure now, knowing that something related to him is back on my TV, and I get to see something that he had probably already created. This entire storyline could be something he already had in the works.
And this is all because of him as well. This is all because of him. This would not be happening if it was not for him. And I can tell his fingerprints are all over this. And as I said before, I felt that in that moment, he would have been looking down on this all happening, and he would have been so proud to see this play out. Because I saw a lot of people saying this needs to do justice for Bray. This needs to do justice for Bray. I think it has. I think it's done so much more than that. And like, I'm not as huge of a fan of Bray Wyatt as G is, and that's understandable. I appreciate Bray. I understand Bray. I respect him. But like this for me is just everything I would have wanted to see and more. And I honestly feel like this is maybe what we were going to see from Bray.
Yeah.
And I feel like Bo Dallas is the best person to be. I feel like if anybody was going to be trying to pay tribute to Bray and it wasn't anybody from the family, I don't think it would make sense. I feel like we wouldn't be seeing what we are. But because it's his brother, and his brother obviously wants to do right by him, I feel like he's the best person to take this and run with it.
I personally feel like the way that we probably would have seen this go had Bray still been alive is he would have brought his puppets to life to fight off Howdy, who was his alter ego. That is the way I would have seen it going. But I'm happy for how it's going now. I'm super duper excited for everything to come for it, and I'm very, very, very excited.
Yeah. I think just let it play out.
We've all got to remember one of Bray's last major interviews, and the thing he said that made me look at this with such a different mindset of Howdy's been in his life and his existence since he was a child. This was a childhood nightmare. This is stuff in the past that he's never really brought to the surface. Only him and Bo Dallas know about it. There are many layers that he's not got to reveal. So it's in the hand of the person that can reveal it and tell the story. There is only there was only him that could ever tell this Uncle Howdy story, and they're gonna make it work as best as they can with what they've got there. Don't get me wrong. Interpretations of stories are always difficult because they're not the original writer, but you can get someone who understands them just as good. I've had to deal with that with one of my favorite ever manga artists. They passed away and their best friend has picked up the work to finish the story because his best friend was told how the story would finish. So he's been doing that work as closure. And as you guys rightfully said, it helps us heal knowing the story that they wanted to tell us and entertain us with is going to get that on, is going to get that chapter. And it's always impressive to see Bray's mind and Bray's work. Just hearing back just the interviews of how he already spoke about his puppets, the ideas, getting to watch the documentaries where he was doing the Firefly Funhouse and he would change it then and there, be like, oh, what if we did this though? What if we did that? I know it's in really good hands with the wrestlers they've chose, like lining back up to what you said about will they hit the ropes? Well, sure. They've arguably picked some of the best wrestlers to hit the ropes in that weird gimmicks. We've already said Joe Gacy would have been perfect in the Wyatt family when the Wyatt family first was early on. If Joe Gacy started ages ago, we've said if Dexter Lumis didn't line up with the way, I said it'd be really interesting to see Dexter Lumis lean back into his old serial killer-esque gimmick in TNA. And I can see that coming with this Mercy the Buzzard. What do buzzards do? They pick apart the corpses. So people will set him up, people will batter them down, and he will be the final answer. He will be that person that will pick them apart. And Howdy is the perfect representation of this ringleader because the gimmick and the look is very much what I would say is like a circus leader, like a puppeteer. Because he's got the giant top hat, he's got the curly mustache and everything like that. That's how it looked to me, is he's ringleading these creatures that have been brought to life. There's like that entertainer kind of style to his look as well. So
yeah,
I really am invested to see where this goes. I think what made me the most invested is they picked a piece of media that is always my favorite. I know G really hates me listening to it out loud. I watch the YouTubes all the time of these, is what are known as ARGs. So you know all those QR codes, the little mysteries, all that stuff. I watch them all the time. Like I watch like very in-depth horror ones people make online, and I feel like this one was just hit such a special place in my heart because it picked all my favorite things together.
Yeah.
You picked my favorite one of my favorite wrestlers, like storyline and gimmicks, and got his brother to carry on the legacy. You picked ARGs, which I am a sucker for those type of puzzles, those weird mysteries, connecting the dots. Like I had G sit down and be like, okay, so explain this part to me and that part, and we would just sat down for like an hour just working parts out together and what could be the answers. Like that live stream with you guys hit me in such like a core memory.
I still can't believe that happened. I still can't believe that whilst we were doing a podcast that randomly that came up, I still cannot believe that was such a coincidence.
It was meant to be.
Yeah, and that's like a core, that's a core memory for me because me as like a teenager, I never had friends that I could talk to about like ARGs and show my nerdiness, and like us live reacting, and then me picking up codes and being like, look, it's this cryptic message, this one links to this.
Yeah,
and getting to show you guys that, and you were like, damn, okay, Ross is picking up these quick. It was
chill
just
out.
Really cool.
Cut the shit.
Jim was like, let me watch the live.
Yeah, no, it was good. I'm super excited.
I think whether or not you are a fan of Bray Wyatt or not, I think when you step back and you look at the reason why this is being done, and it is for somebody to honor such a close person in their life, I feel like you've got to have some form of respect for them wanting to do that, whether or not you connect with the story or not. I think just the idea of someone trying to heal from their grief by honoring their brother in the best way that they know how has to be commended. And I honestly think this is just me saying this to all the naysayers, and I know that I say this all the time and I say let it cook. I'm not going to say let it cook because that turn of phrase doesn't really work in such a sensitive way. Just let them try. Let them show you what they've got.
Yeah.
And whether you like it or not, if it's not connecting with you, it might not be meant for you. And that's absolutely fine. But it's not to say that they can't try to give this a go. For all those people that want closure for what's happened with Bray and who loved Bray and who want to see this happen, just let it happen. Because I don't think Triple H would be taking this as seriously as it is if he didn't actually think it had the possibility to help so many people. It's not just about can they run the ropes. Like I said before, this is probably a way of showing grief and how it works, and having these people who are affected by what happened to Bray, it shows them that they can heal from this. It's not just about who's going to challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship. I think this entire storyline is completely beyond that. I don't think it's about the wrestling. Yeah. It's not about the wrestling.
It's not about the titles. It's not about any of that.
No.
So I believe. Yeah, here we go.
I believe.
Bo has all the greatest intentions with this, and I can't wait to see where it goes. Speaking of beliefs, do you want to get into the NXT side of things?
One more thing on the Wyatt Six thing. The one thing that absolutely broke me was Bray Wyatt, Triple H reposting the Bray Wyatt picture on social media.
That broke me, mate.
I literally couldn't contain. I literally cried, and I just love. It's just nice to have him still around and know that people haven't forgot about him. But so let's move on to something a bit more upbeat, a bit happier, something that happened on NXT this week. So on NXT this week, we had not one, but two TNA stars show up again.
The fuck?
We had Frankie Kazarian and we had Joe Hendry. We could not have timed that better.
That was so good. We need to clip that.
We did. No, but that's the thing is we didn't even plan it.
Yeah, no, we didn't. That was just
We
on the
didn't.
cuff.
They just
That
did
was
it.
just good.
But yeah, so they both showed up for the Battle Royale match. Unfortunately, neither of them did win, but it is nice to see more TNA talent showing up across the WWE shows. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
I hope it goes the other way as well.
Yes.
We had Tatum Paxley rock up to versus Jordan Grace.
We did, yeah. So it does go the opposite way as well.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know if you guys saw the Ivy Nile and Jordan Grace video that went around.
Yeah. I posted that. You reposted me posting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good. I don't know.
So
I just
I'm
feel like there's so
loving all
much to
these
look forward to
crossover
in
things.
wrestling. Yeah, there's so much to look forward to in wrestling at the moment. I
Yeah.
honestly think like we are completely spoiled, regardless of what promotion you watch. We are completely spoiled right now.
The opportunities are endless between WWE and TNA, and I am very, very, very excited for everything. If nobody else has any final thoughts,
No, I do.
go on then.
No, I think we're all good. I think we've covered everything, eh?
You said both. Obviously, both didn't win. So Joe Hendrick got literally eliminated first, and with him being eliminated first, he walked backstage to Shawn Michaels and made the whole sense of like, oh, so is that what it is? You're making all of NXT go against the one TNA guy. I could show up to any show, anytime, any place.
Watch him be the first person to come out at the Rumble.
I want him to be in the Money in the Bank. I want him to rock up as a qualifier.
Cool.
I want him to rock up as a qualifying match on Raw or SmackDown as just a shot. Really cool. He's come in and he goes, I also don't get how they did not put Kazarian's music on. Like the feed for the Royal just started with Joe Hendrick. And I'm like, you skipped over Kazarian. He is a veteran. Like, he is a GOAT. He is like top tier talent. Like, me and Reese can talk about Frankie Kazarian for ages.
He was cool when we saw him live. He can wrestle. He's good.
Yeah, like as we said in our TNA versus WWE booking, when he mentioned Kazarian, we went into very much depths of how Kazarian is arguably one of the guys. He lasted a long period. Oh, Courtney's gone. No.
Just keep going.
But he lasted a long period in the Battle Royal, so I was happy to see that. But yeah, I just felt it was a bit shitty. They didn't play his music.
Yeah, her internet's gone down. She can't get back in.
Oh.
So that was fabulous. I did really enjoy the fact that they both showed up, and like I said, it's great that to see this happening for multiple different talents.
Yes. Yeah. And we also now have more wrestling happening. We have a really cool announcement literally happened today. I know it's not WWE involved, but I think it's still pretty cool to mention. For people who like AEW, it is going to Cardiff for just the week just before All In.
The Wednesday before All In, they're going to be recording Dynamite and Collision.
Collision back to back. So, I mean, the attempt to book that day off and just do a random trip down to Cardiff to go watch and come back.
Yeah, would be good.
It's very tempting because I love Dynamite's format.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's really cool. Forbidden Door is around the corner as well as a pay-per-view. So I think, yeah, all in all, we've got really cool wrestling things to look forward to. Clash was great. And yeah, I'm super excited for the Wyatt 6 stuff going forward.
Yeah. Right then, guys, I think we will wrap that up there for this evening because we've covered everything that we needed to. Before you do go, make sure you hit that subscribe button, follow, like, comment, leave us a comment about something you want to see. And yeah, so next week we are back with our blind fantasy wheel. Hopefully Reese will be joining us back again as it is his turn to run that episode because it's his idea. So we will be back with the part 2 of that. Make sure you stay tuned for Ross's SmackDown review on Saturday, and then Courtney's Raw review on Tuesday, and Reese's NXT review on Wednesday. But that is everything from us today, guys. Bye! Catch you on the next one.
See you guys. Bye-bye.